Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gachie Skyman TV, the talisman Black Africa. The question is, which way Rigathi Gachagua? What is the way forward? What is the next move for the embattled DP? When you look at William Samoei Ruto, he is not sparing his deputy in any way. And he has decided to unleash all the Mount Kenya guys, the elected leaders, like Dede Nyoro, who is not sparing Rigathi Gachagua, who is a person who is showing very little respect or no respect, something that look like insubordination, something that look like competition for political power. And when you look at Dede Nyoro seems to have a lot of money to spend, and I think he was put there with a purpose, just to checkmate the man from Madeira, just to checkmate Rigathi Gachagua. And he's doing it very, very well. In fact, he's overshadowing him in the mountain. He has been transversing from one place to the other, all corners of the country, conducting harabes and doing things that would make Rigathi Gachagua very, very irrelevant, not only in the mountain, but in the country in general. Moses Kuria has also been unleashed. The man baptized Umpioro, the man who was described as somebody who can say any word, who does not mince any word, the man who shoots from the hip, is also a very, very lethal politician as far as the politics of Rigathi Gachagua are concerned. Then there is the lightweight, Anne Waiguru, the political lightweight Kirinyaga governor, came out yesterday and she had no kind word for Rigathi Gachagua. In fact, when you look at it, it is very clear that these people have been sent. And because William Samoei Ruto is very good at fighting these kind of games, because this is the method that he used to fight Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and win the hearts of the mountain, he is now repeating the script. Somebody else who is being used is Kimani Ichung'wah, the leader of majority, the Kikuyu member of parliament, who is himself very, very unpopular on the ground. But because he's the one who is controlling parliament, because he's the one who is used by the executive to convince and lobby support for the bills in government, in parliament that is, he is being used to overshadow Rigathi Gachagua, to checkmate him. So when you look at Rigathi Gachagua, he has nowhere to hide. When you look at Rigathi Gachagua, he is a man under siege. When you look at Rigathi Gachagua, you see a man who is defenseless. You see a man who is crying for help. And that is why he has been telling Kenyans, the Kikuyus in general, to unite. And I remember telling Kenyans yesterday that if the Kikuyus do not unite, they will be scattered in all directions, like monkey's pee. That is what he said. And you ask yourself, they are uniting against whom? And why are they uniting at this time? So the big questions in the room today, what should Rigathi Gachagua do? Agefanya nini? Afanya nini? Tutamwambia afanya nini? Number one, Rigathi Gachagua can choose to fight William Samoei Ruto as he's doing. But he must brace himself for a long haul, because William Samoei Ruto is no pushover. William Samoei Ruto is very manipulative. William Samoei Ruto is a shrewd politician, and he has been in this game since the time of Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, the time of ODM when they were campaigning against the constitution. Remember the Rainbow Coalition. Remember the Pentagon. He was there. He was among the members of the Pentagon. So he is used to fighting. And Rigathi Gachagua must brace himself for this long fight, something that is not going to end anytime soon. The second thing he can choose to do, he can choose to ignore William Samoei Ruto. But once he ignores William Samoei Ruto, what is likely to happen, he'll be made irrelevant, and the people of the mountain will be complaining. So he is being set against his own people. And one thing I've never understood about the people of the mountain, why is it that they attack their own? Why is it that they fight their own? Why do they fight their own son, surely? Something that we don't see in other communities. Why do they rise against their own brother? Like now, when you look at the people who have been set against Rigathi Gachagua, the people who are at loggerhead with Rigathi Gachagua, they all come from the mountain. And when you look at it, the same story that is being repeated, the same script that was prayed against Uhuru Mwewe Kenyatta is being repeated now against Rigathi Gachagua. History is fond of repeating itself, and it is actually doing. And Gachagua can decide now to ignore. Something else is that Gachagua can decide to talk with William Samoei Ruto, and they come up with a compromise. They agree on how they are going to tackle this issue. They can actually reconcile. And reconciliation, what does reconciliation mean here, by the way? Because reconciliation means that he bows to William Samoei Ruto. He stopped talking about one man, one vote, one shilling. Because this narrative of Rigathi Gachagua, of one man, one shilling, one vote, is not even in him, by the way. It is something that he's using to defend himself. Something else is that he can decide to go and plead with Uhuru Mwewe Kenyatta. And once he pleads with Uhuru Mwewe Kenyatta can come out and maybe help him to mobilize and maybe give him advice on how to deal with William Samoei Ruto. Because Uhuru is very much experienced in these issues also. He fought with William Samoei Ruto. Although he lost the battle, he did not lose the win. He did not lose the war. You may lose the battle, but not the war. So what there is that kuangalia vizuri sana utaona kwamba William Samoei Ruto won the battle but not the war. So he can decide to work with Uhuru Mwewe Kenyatta. Something else is that Rigathi Gachagua can decide to maybe join the opposition. And if he joins the opposition, I think he can be very, very popular. And maybe the opposition, because when you look at the opposition, there seems to be a vacuum, and then they need somebody to fill the vacuum. But the big question is, are they going to accept him? Are they going to trust him? I think if I were to advise this man, because he's a heartbeat away from the presidency, I would tell him to run from Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi was Kenyatta's deputy, who was embattled by the Kikuyu mafia, the Kiambu mafia especially, who strongly believe that the presidency belongs to them. He can decide to borrow a reef from Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. And because he worked with Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, I think he's ready for it. Na ukisikiliza vile ambavyo anasema kwamba haya mambo anaelewa. Ukimsikiliza utaona kwamba anasema kwamba bado hata yeye ako tayari, anaweza kukabiliana na hali yote ile ambayo inaweza kujitokeza. Kule kuambia watu yeye si mjiga, it's a loaded statement in my view. But from where I sit, I look at Rigathi Gachagua, I see a man who is ready to fight, because he is now even using his close allies. You see the Nyeri governor, you see Wegi ambao anatumia kinaga kuya pale. I even saw Mere wa Maua, the Maragwa member of parliament, defending him. So many people are coming to defend me. I also even saw the woman rep in Muranga ready to defend Rigathi Gachagua. So when you look at these people, the battle lines are drawn. How he is going to handle this issue, only time will tell. If we escape and come out strongly, because you see, battles have a way of hardening people, and Gachagua is not battle hardened like William Samoei Ruto. And I think he needs to be very, very careful, because all these battles are meant for one thing: to replace Rigathi Gachagua. It may not be now, because I strongly believe he could easily be impeached, looking at the way the things are going. But come 2027, there is no way Rigathi Gachagua is going to be a running mate of William Samoei Ruto. I don't know what you think. But from where I sit, the issue, it is going to be very interesting. It is going to be very murky. It is going to be very messy. You can't miss to like this video, ladies and gentlemen. Please like the video, share it, comment, and have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.